You're not gonna convince me any other way. But it's funny whenever they try, and it's not just 'cause I'm stubborn, I'll tell you why. It's 'cause I pay attention, and that's something that most refuse to do, because if they did it, they realize that most of the shit that they've been told ain't true. And I do pity them, yeah, I really, really, really pity them. Because if they had even a smidgen of what we have, they wouldn't know what to do with it. So I guess it's better that they keep sitting in their shit and complaining, 'cause it stinks up something fierce. If they realize that most of the bad situations that they're in are because of them, it really would start to pierce that precious ego and remind them of all the stuff they don't know. Ego, 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 ego. I'm fine not knowing the stuff I don't know, and all the stuff I do. I thank the one who made me, 'cause I continue to walk in that truth. And no, I don't think that there's such a thing as subjective truth. In fact, just saying that is objective. So, I mean, if you say, well, my truth indicates blah, 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 well, my truth indicates that your truth is a bunch of bullshit, you know? So, it's so frustrating. Because it's like, people that don't believe in the truth, people that don't believe in that, they are so easily fucked with, and they will believe anything. And so it's amusing to me that they think that those of us religious nut jobs are just so totally out of whack because we trust in the things that we can't see. But it's like, that's so arrogant. That's so arrogant to think that, oh, I can't see it, so therefore it doesn't exist. And it's like that entire worldview just doesn't even make sense. And it perfectly encapsulates why those people are so mentally screwy. Because they don't have any solid foundation that they can rely upon. And for that reason alone, I empathize with them quite a bit. And I just wish I could help them. But they'll never listen to somebody like me. So, I don't want to throw all my prayers down a well, because that's essentially what you do when you talk to a secular person. Because they think it's just a bunch of bullshit, you know? I will say this about it. There are two types of secular people. There's like the secular person that's cool with religious people, and there's the secular person that's probably possessed. And I mean, they're constantly having to deal with demonic spirits that are swaying them every which way. Like people that want to obsess about a particular aspect of their identity. These people are really, really fucked up in the head. And I see this on all political sides. I see this, in all the different types of identity and all job vocations, and, you know, people that are parents, people that are single, people that are in monogamous relationships, people that are in polyamorous relationships. It's like, if you were really happy being that way, why are you trying to convince everybody else to do it like that? I mean, it's kind of obvious to me that those people aren't happy. Because, like, you don't need to convince anybody of that. Like, when you're happy, you're just happy. And you're just living in the moment, and you're just grateful for whatever you're experiencing. You know? You don't need to convince anybody of the particular state of mind that you're in. That's why I find the term trans joy to be the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. But it's like, you can't, like, quantify happiness, you know? Like, you're not happy because of a particular aspect of your identity, you know? Unless, of course, you're schizophrenic, which means you have additional anandamide, which is the bliss molecule inside your brain. But anyway, let's keep going. So the other day, I was at work, and I was just laughing about that. Trans joy. And I was just thinking about how, like, you don't say that about anything else. So it's very obvious propaganda. Now, I'm sure that if you're already a fan of this channel, this is not news to you, but I just thought that we'd make fun of it for a little bit because it's just so ridiculous. And that's really the only ammo that we have is just laughter. And I know that I shouldn't be laughing at these people that pretend that they're happy about thinking they were born in the wrong body, but like, I've never heard a gay person say, I have homosexual joy. Okay? Like, I've never heard a gay person, like, come out of the closet, like, back when there was a closet before they bulldozed the motherfucker. Well, I've never heard anybody say, like, after I came out of the closet, I had homosexual joy. Gay joy. I've never heard that. If gay people aren't saying that, I'm pretty sure the trans stuff is bullshit. Okay? And much like getting a haircut or a new tattoo, you're excited about it at first, and then you realize that you're the same shithead that you were when your hair was a different color. Or you look the way that God wanted you to look, instead of, you know, getting tattoos like I did mistakenly. So, you know, there's just a lot that people do in this culture that doesn't make any sense, and it's kind of obviously propaganda if they're, like, trying to push that on society and make it seem like those people are so happy, like, on a level that's, you know, kind of ridiculous. Because, yeah, you can't really quantify your happiness like that. Is that the right word? Quantify? Qualify? Should I say qualify? I mean, I do think that gender dysphoria is real, but I think that of all the people that say they have it, I think it's maybe like this many people that actually have it. But, you know, I've been doing a lot of research on the human brain, differences between males and females, and then the brains of people that think they were born in the wrong body, like for real. And it's really interesting findings. I think I'm going to do an entirely separate video on that. But, of course, you know, certain people that work for, you know, the gender study department of various Ponzi schemes, i.e. universities, want to completely discount it because they consider it sexist. They call it neuro-sexism, which is not surprising at all, is it? But,
this is the problem with research and development. This is the problem with science, is that they can just toss out anything that's inconvenient. So, you know, like the DSM, when the original DSM was written in 1952, homosexuality was considered a mental illness. And then, God, I don't remember which DSM this was. It was like either the second or the third. Where in 1973 they removed it from the DSM. That's the Diagnostic Manual of Psychiatric Disorders. So, you know, like whenever it's convenient for them, certain things are considered to be wrong, you know? But at any given point, and this is what I'm talking about, having a good foundation in God, having a good foundation in solid truth, not just truth that can be changed at any whim, it's like people will just believe it. You know, like the kinds of people that trust the science, the kinds of people that take psych meds, the kinds of people that pay attention to like celebrity gossip, you know? They just think like, oh, well, we just have more information now. Like, we have more advancements in our society because of technology, and oh, we just didn't know this back then. I don't believe it for a second, okay? I don't believe it for a second, because the people that are controlling things now are the people that have always controlled things, okay? I think about this book by Stephen King called It, okay? It's basically about this evil plasma that like takes on different forms based off of people's fear. And it eats children. Okay? They made movies about it. They had like did a made for TV movie a long time ago, and I think they redid the movie a couple years ago. I never watched it because I don't like remakes. But it was just basically about how like evil can manifest itself in different forms, but it's all like coming from the same place of, you know, controlling through fear. Okay? Basically, Stephen King was talking about the news media without realizing that's what he was talking about. I have a theory that's why he hates Trump. But I really don't know. I don't idolize anybody. I don't think anybody's coming to save us. I think that people are a little too optimistic when it comes to well, all kinds of shit, really. But I know that sounds really negative. But I feel like the purpose of the Bible isn't to get us out of situations. The purpose of the Bible is to show us like how to be strong. And I think that that's like a real common misconception about the scripture, that, you know, even though a lot of it can explain like where we are in the world, and it can explain, you know, disorders, and it can explain, you know, stupidity and evil and all that. But I think that a lot of people have this problem of like expecting somebody else to do the work. And so whether they expect that from a politician or they expect that from Jesus, you know, it's like, if you know anything about life at all, you know that life is relentless struggle. And it's actually better for those of us that just accept that struggle rather than whine about it or just try to escape it. I've never been able to escape anything aside from, you know, drinking booze. And when I drank booze, I would black out and turn my conscience off completely. So that was really the only way that I could accomplish that goal. and I almost died. I almost killed myself over and over and over again, you know? So I quit that shit a long time ago, but it's like, I just feel like people are doing a disservice to themselves wanting to escape, because there's no escape, you know? There really isn't. So it would just be better for you to accept the fact that life is hard and that you're going to struggle. Period, point blank. You will struggle. But you have somebody that you can turn to while you struggle, as you struggle. Now, maybe I'm totally interpreting things wrong, but I just feel like it's disingenuous to even suggest that a lot of these things can be removed. You know, I think it comes back. I think it comes back because the devil knows what our weakness is, and we don't stop being weak. You know? It's like if I started drinking again, I guarantee you I would be dead within a month, because I would still go about it the same way that I always went about it. So, I'm just saying, know that you're a weak person. Ask for forgiveness. And then ask God to help you do better. And ask God to help you accept the things that you find personally unacceptable. And I guarantee you, it'll definitely take that edge off. Because you'll realize, okay, it's cool that I'm not what I want to be. Because with God's help, eventually, I'll get there, you know? And even if I never do, it's fine. Because, you know, we need to stop having such high expectations of ourselves in relation to, like, what we want. And I think it has a lot more to do with, like, the world and, like, how the world sees us. Like, we want to look good for the world. That's so unimportant. Like, the world does not matter. It just doesn't. And the people that are trying to convince you to do things that your conscience doesn't agree with, those people are working for the devil. And I'm not saying they mean to. I'm not saying that they're malicious or anything, but just ask God to keep you strong in the faith. Bye-bye.